All right, guys, we are going to begin once again with our trek through algebra. Algebra 2. Da-da-da. The sequel. Anyway, hope you're having a good day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good middle of the night, depending on what time you are watching this class. Today we're going to, this video is going to be a little bit shorter than the rest, the ones that I've done so far, because we're just going to go over two little formulas here that we have already gone through and you should already know. All right. So today we're going to be looking at how to find the distance of ordered pairs in a three-dimensional plane. 3D, baby, 3D. Wah, 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 wah. Once again, I am doing this video in this format because my beautiful wife has asked me, no, actually, she told me I had to do it this way. Look at her. Isn't she beautiful? Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Anyway, all right. How to find the distance of ordered pairs in a three-dimensional plane. Okay, so first thing, let's go over some steps, and then we'll do a few problems, and we'll go from there, okay? All right, hope you're having a good day. Remember that by Friday at 8 p.m., you are to bring or text or text message a picture of your work for the first three videos or the first two videos that we have done so far this week. Okay, so keep that in mind. I don't want your parents driving around, getting pulled over, and then getting put in jail because they disobey the curfew hours and all of that. All right. Okay, great. So when we are talking about a three-dimensional plane, okay, 3D plane, we are going to use three letters to help us represent the points on the plane, okay? So in two-dimensional, we just use X and Y. And because our order points in two dimensions had only two coordinates, right? Or two digits in the coordinates. But in a three-dimensional plane, points in three-dimensional plane have three digits. I should put digits there. Three digits in their coordinates, okay? So three digits in the coordinates. And so that's why we need three letters to help us identify each one of those digits. Okay, so just like in the two-dimensional plane, we are going to start off by assigning order to the points. Okay, that is the first step. And like I said in our last video, the only thing you are deciding is which point will be first and which one will be second. Okay, so no fretting there, no worrying there. And then we're going to place these values or those numbers into the formula, and then we're going to follow the steps that we followed for the two-dimensional figure. Okay, great. Now let's look at the formula. The formula, once again, the formula for a three-dimensional figure. Remember that in distance, we are looking for the square root. Ooh, that is an ugly square root. Well, that's even worse. Let's leave it there. Okay, so the formula for distance in a three-dimensional figure or plane is x1 minus x2 squared, y1 minus y2 squared, plus z1 minus z2 squared. All right, great. So each letter representing one of our points. Okay, so let's just do one example quickly, and we'll go through this today. All right, so let's say we are going to use the point 2, negative 1, and 3. And our second point is going to be 3, 5, negative 1. Okay? So all we're going to do, I've already decided this one is going to be first, this one's going to be second. And we are going to put the value, or put these numbers in the place where they belong. Okay, so remember to do this right here. Okay, so I write it down because, like I said, I don't have the greatest memory in the world, so I write everything down. Okay, maybe not everything, but most things. Okay, this is x1, y1, and z1. Why? Because this is point 1. This is x2, y2, z2, because this is point 2. Simple as that. Okay, great. Now let's put them in the formula as we are told up here. Okay, now let's see. James, pay attention. All right. And Merritt, stop playing around with Elias, please. Leave that boy alone. He needs to pay attention. Good man. All right, let's continue. Let's see. Now, where was I before I was so rudely interrupted? Yes. X1 minus X2. So there's X1, X2. So 2 minus 3 squared. And then my second part is Y1 minus Y2. So negative 1 minus 5 right there. And then, yes, that is a negative. Don't freak out about it. It'll be okay. You will make it through life. It's fine. And then our last term, or the last part of this formula, Z1 and Z2. In this case, 3 and negative 1. So 3 minus a negative 1 squared. Okay, so then our next steps up here that we are to follow is that we must solve everything. Let me put this up here so that you can remember. Solve within parentheses first. Okay, solve within the parentheses first, and after that, then we're going to do the exponents. All right, good. So those are the next two steps. All right, so let's solve this within the parentheses first. All right, so 2 minus 3 is going to give us a negative 1. Negative 1 minus 5 is going to give us a negative 6. Why? Well, in this distance formula, we're going to follow the keep, change, method, okay, or rule. So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to change my negative sign to a plus sign, and then I'm going to change the sign of the 5, which is a positive 5, to a negative 5. So I am going to have negative 1 plus a negative 5, which is, ta-da, negative 6. All right, great. Let's continue. and then my last one, 3 minus a negative 1. So again, keep, change. I'm going to keep that sign. I'm going to change this one to a positive, and I'm going to change that one to a positive as well. So that's 3 plus 1, basically. And the answer is 4. Good job. All right, great. Now, this is easy, isn't it? Isn't it? Good. Okay, Abigail, don't fall asleep, please. Wake up. All right, let's continue. All right, so, and please, guys, don't pick your nose. That is very, very disgusting. Anyway, it's even worse when you eat it. Yuck. Okay, so let's continue here. So this is going to give me a negative 1. This is a negative 6, and then a 4. Okay. So anytime you have a negative number that is raised to an even number exponent, that number there will always be positive. Okay, remember that. All right, so this is -1 squared is 1. -6 squared, so that's -6 times a -6. It is 36. And then we have 4 times 4 is 16. And now all we are going to do is add these beautiful numbers together, and we will get, our answer will be the distance of point 2, -1, and 3 from 3, 5, and -1 is the square root of 53. So the question is, what is the square root of 53, people? Anybody? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller, Bueller, Bueller. Have you guys ever seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off? If you haven't, you probably need to. It is very, what's the word? It's an 80s movie, but it's very funny, okay? All right, so the answer should be 7.28, or we can say 7.3 for the fun of it. Okay, great. Okay, so that's it. That is the distance formula for a three-dimensional plane, okay? Very easy. The only thing that we did was add the last part down here, and that was it. Okay, good. Let's look now quickly at finding the midpoint in a three-dimensional graph. The midpoint in a three-dimensional graph. Let's see. So the formula for that is basically the same as the two-dimensional graph or plane. The only thing we're adding is this area over here. Okay, so we already work with x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2. The only thing we're adding now is that z1 plus c2 over 2. Okay, all right, great. Now let's work on this formula, and we're going to use this number right here. We have 0.1 and 0.2. I've assigned already my points, okay, for each one. For each digit, they have received their assignments. Now I'm going to take these numbers, both of these, and put them into the formula where I am told they are to go. Okay, great. So let's try this out. So the first one says x1 and x2. So x1, x2, 2 plus 3 over 2. Good. Y1, y2. So here's y1, here's y2. So I'm going to have a -1 plus 5 over 2. Good. And then the last one is z1. Here's c1, z1, and c2. So I am going to add 3 plus a -1 divided by 2. Okay? Very easy, people. All you are doing is following these rules right here. So we're going to assign our order to the numbers. We did that. We're going to place the numbers into the formula. We have done that right there. And now we're going to add the numerators and divide the sum or their sum by 2. Okay, so here's the numerators, and then we'll divide them by 2, and voila, we shall be good. Okay, so let's start off. 2 plus 3 is 5. -1 plus 5, that's going to give us a +4. Okay, +4. Now in this one, in this formula, we do not use the keep change rule. Man, that was almost KFC. I almost got hungry there. I started seeing chickens there for a while. Anyway, let's go back. So we won't do that here. You do that in the distance formula, but not in the midpoint formula. Okay, great. Now let's continue. Let's see. So we have -1 plus 5. That is 4. Okay, and I've told you before that if for some crazy reason you are having problems with this, just put down a number line, okay? And that should help you get this going. So if you're over here and you're gonna add 5, +5 to a -1, you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You're going towards the right. So that's how we get 4. Okay, so then we have 3 plus a -1, which is the same as saying 3 minus 1, which would be 2. Good job. Okay, so now we're gonna put them over 2. So I'm gonna have 2/5 over here, 5 over 2 here. Sorry, I can't read. Then I have 4 over 2 and 2 over 2. Now, it is always best to simplify. Simplify if possible. Hey, I sound like that bad guy from what is that thing? Star Wars? Yeah. Palatine. I can't remember his name. Palisades? I don't know. Whatever his name is. You know, the old crusty looking guy. Yeah, that guy. Okay, great. All right. Simplify. Come to the dark side. Anyway. Okay, so you could divide 5 by 2, but obviously that'll give you a what do you call that? A fraction. So 5 divided by 2, it's 2.5 or 2.5. You can use that. So let's put that there, 2.5, and then 4 divided by 2 is 2, right? And then 2 divided by 2 is 1. Okay, so voila, there you have your answer. Okay, great. So these are our 2 formulas. Okay, now let's do this here. Okay, let's do one more for each one, and we'll continue. Okay, so I have my 2 points here, my 2 points, and I am going to place them, give them their order. This is 1, this is 2. So this is X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. Hey, that used to be, or that was a, let's see, I believe it was during the John Adams presidency. There was a XYZ affair with the French. I think they were trying to overthrow the government. I can't remember. But yeah, that was a big deal. You'll learn about that in your history class. Yay! Okay, now let's put these bad boys where they belong. Okay, so let's solve for the distance for this point. So it's x1. So let me see, where am I? Let me move this over. So x1 minus x2. So here and here, 5 minus 1. And then y1 minus y2. So that's going to be 0 minus 1. And then z1, 6 minus c2. Okay? All right, great. I have them in their place. Now I'm going to solve within the parentheses for 5 minus 1 is 4. 0 minus 1 is -1. And then 8 or 6 minus a -2. So remember, keep, change. So that's why we have 8. I'm going to change that and change that. These two become positives. Good. Now I'm going to, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Somebody tell me quick. Ricardo, tell me. What am I going to do here? What's next? Da-da-da. Right there. What is that? Yes, I am going to square the numbers. Okay, so 4 squared is 16. 4 times 4. -1 squared is 1. -1 times -1. And then 8 squared is 8 times 8, or 64. Good job. Now I'm going to add them. 16, 17, and 64 gives me 81. And so the square root of 81 is my distance for these two numbers. And the square root of 81 is 9. Good job. Okay, great. And then we have here an example for the midpoint formula. Voila. There it is. Okay, so point 1 and point 2. I'm going to put them into the formula as I am told, and then I'm going to add the numerators and divide by 2. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. Nothing big here. You just have to keep the numbers in order and remember to add correctly. Okay, sometimes even high schoolers forget to add correctly. Oh my goodness. Yes, I know it's a shock, but let's continue. So 5, x1, x2, 5 plus 1. x1, x2, 0 plus 1. z1, z2, 6 plus a negative 2. All right, and so this is going to give us 6 over 2. This is going to give us 1 over 2. And this here is going to give us 4 over 2. And then I just simplify. Come to the dark side. Anyway, this will be 6 divided by 2 is 3. This is 1/2. We'll just leave that as it is. Or you could have just put 0.5 if you wanted to. And then 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay, so this is very easy, guys. Okay, you don't have to break your brain over all of this. Just make sure you copy the notes down. And guess what? I will not leave you any work for this. Maybe I should, though. Maybe just one. How about that? Just one? Come on, guys. You know you want to do one. All right. All right. No work for this one. No homework. Okay, great. Just make sure you copy down these notes. I want to see them exactly as I have them right here. Okay. All right. We'll leave it there for today. No big deal today. Everything is easy peasy. All right. So don't sleep too much. Make sure you have your work in, or you send me a text message, or send me pictures of your work and of your notes. And like I said before, if you want a +1 on your grade, not your final grade, just your grade for this stuff, send a picture of yourself smiling, and that smile will tell me that you love math. Okay? All right, great. Y'all have a good day. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.